What's up guys, it's Caliver, and today we're going to be doing a review for Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Now I just want to make a disclaimer, this is going to be a spoiler review, so if you have not seen any of the episodes yet, please wait, go watch it, and then come back and watch this. So to start, I just want to say I am a huge fan of the Daredevil Netflix series, all 3 seasons. I thought all of them were great. The second one was probably the weakest other than The Punisher in my opinion, but season 1 was great and season 3 was phenomenal. So this had a very, very high bar, and I gotta say, I thought it was very good. So when we open with season 1, we start off getting introduced to all the new characters, seeing all of the former actors, just seeing the world that we knew from the Netflix series and seeing how it's changed. And my God, within 10 minutes, they turn that upside down. Holy shit. Foggy, right away, Foggy getting murdered just was shocking, to say the least. And I did my best to avoid spoilers. I was seeing a lot of stuff for him that first day, because it took me about an hour to actually sit down and watch it. And I mean, I was already seeing things just oh my God, Foggy, oh my God, Foggy. So I figured something was gonna happen. I just didn't think it would be that, and I didn't think it would be in the first 10 minutes. Like, that was crazy. But following that, we have the insane fight with Matt and Bullseye. Holy shit, that was. I mean, it was the best fight of the series, I gotta say, for sure. They definitely opened it well, and man, it was wow, it was a wild fight. They get to the roof, and Matt throws, after hearing Foggy die, he throws Bullseye off, just trying to kill him, and that really set the tone for what's to come. Following that, we have Kingpin going for mayor and becoming the mayor. Which already makes for an insane story. Then we get introduced to White Tiger and him basically trying to save someone and then accidentally tripping a cop, and the cop goes into the train and gets blown up and just turns into a mist of nothingness. And of course he goes to jail, so he needs an attorney, and Matt goes in and basically he tries to defend him, and finds out he's the White Tiger, and he basically tells the court that, hey, you're putting away a hero. This guy, he saves lives. You got it all wrong. And at this point we're getting introduced to the Punisher cops, who are obviously not good guys. Seeing the fights with Matt and the Punisher cops, like when he snaps the one guy's arm, and oh my God, the gore was insane. I definitely liked that. But yeah, so we that courtroom episode, I believe it was episode 3. Oh my God, that was my favorite episode. It was so well done. I love seeing the lawyer stuff from Matt Murdock, as well as, obviously Daredevil. And, a common complaint is Daredevil wasn't in it enough. And I can see that. However, I liked exactly how they handled this. And man, I just thought it was phenomenal. And especially at the end of the episode, Matt wins, he gets him off, and immediately he puts on the mask and he goes out, and boom, it's done. Punisher cop got him, and that was just an insane ending to that episode for sure. So we also get introduced to Matt's girlfriend, Heather, and the interesting thing about Heather is that she is the psychiatrist for Kingpin and his wife. Now, they're having issues because he's been away for a long time and she took over the business. Now that he's back and he's becoming mayor, there's definitely some tension, and he finds out that his wife cheated on him with a guy named Adam. Man, I wouldn't want to be Adam. Holy shit, the things that happen to that guy, that's a rough time. Kingpin keeps Adam in captivity and basically forces him to fight him. And he even throws him a weapon and says, "Go ahead, fight me." So they fight, and surprise, surprise, Kingpin wins, and he locks him right back up. So after that, as the relationship is getting better, he shows Vanessa what he's been doing and shows her that Adam's still alive, and basically says, make a choice, and puts a gun in front of her, and she basically has to make a choice, and that choice is a lot of bullets in Adam. She kills him. She just ends him. And yeah, it was pretty brutal. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but the way it was executed was just done very well, and I really liked that scene. Now we get to Muse, and they've trickled a lot of Muse through all the episodes. They show a lot of graffiti that's signed by Muse, and just a lot of the art that he's done throughout the city. And seems kind of harmless until you find out that it was made with blood. And there are some murders that have been happening, and Muse is just basically draining people's blood and putting it and mixing it with the paint, and that's how he paints, with people's blood. Pretty cool. So after really getting to know Muse, two girls walk up to him and ask for pictures, and he just kills them. He just flat out kills them and turns it into art. It's pretty insane, he gouges out their eyes, and then you just have this like beautiful art with them at the center of it. So yeah, that was pretty fucked up. So at this point, we actually have Muse come in, and he abducts White Tiger's niece in hopes of turning her into more beautiful art. And finally, we have our main character, Daredevil, suit up again and fight the bad guy. And man, that is a awesome fight. It was really cool. I wasn't expecting Muse to know like all the moves. Like he actually knew how to fight, and I thought he'd be like very wacky and stuff, but all of his moves were very precise, and I thought that was interesting coming from someone so psychotic, So after that, Muse gets away, and then we find out that he's actually one of Heather's patients. So as he's there for therapy, she starts to realize something's wrong, and what does he do? He basically shows her that he's Muse, and then, he starts to take her blood like Dracula. Anyways, he starts to take her blood, and then boom, Daredevil busts in, and they have a fight. Pretty cool fight. And then Heather gets out, and boom, shoots him, and he's dead. So Muse is dead. Muse is out of the story. That is a complaint I've seen, and I do kind of wish he was in it a little bit longer. Maybe like if they just had a few more episodes at the beginning where they just kind of trickled in a little more Muse instead of just like the couple in the middle. I think that would have been just fine, and then maybe just making the fight a little bit longer. Other than that, I did enjoy it. I did just think that part in particular felt a little rushed to me. As we start making our way towards the end of the season, Kingpin now has his Punisher cops in full force. And that's definitely not making it easy for Daredevil or any of the superheroes or vigilantes, because he is now making it a law that you cannot be a vigilante and you will be punished for it. So we get introduced to little minor characters like I believe his name is the Swordsman. He was the guy in Hawkeye. I like him. He's a good actor, and I hope to see more of him, So Matt gets a call, and it's actually Bullseye wanting to talk to him. So that was just crazy. Matt actually meets with Bullseye and talks to him, and of course Bullseye is trying to rile him up because he's scheming something, and Matt beats the shit out of him, taking his head and slamming him against the table, and that's exactly what he wanted. So Matt leaves, and it loosened his tooth enough for him to use it as a weapon, and what does he do? He escapes jail with a tooth. That's straight from the comics. That's crazy. I thought it was well done. That was a scene, and just to me personally, I wish there was a little more fight with that. I wish like he'd do more during that instead of just taking out the guys with the tooth and then being free and everything, and then putting the outfit on and getting out, the uniform. And it was cool. I just wish it lasted a little longer. Just the little things, just a little bit, but still very much enjoyed it. So. He escapes, and what does he do? He goes to kill someone, but we kind of don't really know who, and they're trying to make it, like, oh, who's he gonna target? And in that moment, Matt's on the dance floor, and he goes up to Vanessa and grabs her, and they start dancing together, and he figures out that she was actually the one that put the hit out on Foggy, which was a crazy twist. I did not see that coming personally, and it was very well done. Bullseye takes the shot, and he shoots Kingpin, but Matt jumps in the way, taking the hit for Kingpin, and everyone's scratching their heads saying, why would he do that? Wow. So we start the last episode with Matt waking up in the hospital, and he basically pushes everyone away and tells them to get out because he knows shit's about to go down. So Fisk makes his move by shutting down the power of the city, and basically has his henchmen go in to kill Matt. And, Matt realizes and leaves before he can, finish the job. So when Matt gets home, who does he see? Frank Castle. And shit's about to go down. So they have a little reunion, they have a little banter, and Matt suits up. The Punisher cops show up, and then they have a crazy fight. I loved the fight. Thought it was awesome. I wondered if they were going to do slow motion for all of the Punisher's fights, but it was fine. I thought it was fun. So yeah, that I definitely thought was great. They basically finished the fight. Matt doesn't want to kill the last guy, and then Punisher does, and then they have a back and forth, and then Matt hears a grenade, so they jump from the building, and that's kind of where they end the fight. And who rolls up? It's Karen Page. It was great to see her back. I was so happy when I saw her. I was like, okay, shit's about to go down now. And they were setting up for season 2 for sure, and I'm excited to see where they go. You have the team, I guess, split up now, and Punisher goes on his own and goes up to the Punisher cops, beats the hell out of, he murders a bunch of them, and then they end up capturing him and, trying to convince him to join them. And of course he refuses, so they end up locking him up in a cage, and that's kind of where his story ends in this last episode here. So then you have Matt and Karen go to look at all the records of Foggy's case and figure out what exactly happened and why Vanessa wanted to have him killed. And they figured out exactly what was going on, and then they decided to make their move. And Daredevil is assembling a team basically to try and fight back against Fisk for season 2, and it was just a lot of setup this episode. I do think it was a great episode, and at the end they showed the Punisher getting out. That was the after credit scene. He's talking nicely to one of the Punisher cops, and the Punisher cops is a fan of him, so he walks up to him. He's like, yeah, let me shake your hand, and everyone could see it a mile away, and he just breaks his arm, and that's where it ends. So overall, I thought this season was fantastic. Now, how does it compare to the original Netflix Daredevil? I don't think it's quite there, but I do think it is very strong. I do think, it could use a little more action. I'm not saying it's bad without the action. I'm not saying it's bad without the Daredevil. I thought it was great. I just thought the fight sequences could have been a little longer, like with Muse, for example. But other than that, I thought it was great. With Muse again, I would probably have just sprinkled him in a little bit through like episode 2 and episode 3, more than just like seeing the artwork on the walls and stuff. I would probably have like him, committing murders, or them mentioning the Muse murders a little more. That's probably my biggest gripe with the show overall. I thought everything was well done. I thought the acting was fantastic on everyone. I mean, Fisk is incredible. Even Vanessa, Punisher, obviously, and then Matt, just all the side characters and everything. I thought everyone was great. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it an 85%. I thought it was fantastic, and I can't wait to see more. I'm super hyped for Daredevil season 2, and I'm hoping they're going to keep on cooking with it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm curious what everyone thinks. I know people loved it. I know people didn't. I know there was a lot of back and forth between, there wasn't enough action, wasn't enough Daredevil, and then people were saying, no, it's fine, I love it. And again, I've already given you my opinion, but I'm curious what you all think. If you guys would like to see more Marvel review videos, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out. And yeah, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.